Hey, this is Country Earl, and you're listening to Yakking Live with the Clay Kayak Crew.
Oh, yeah, that's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Yakking Live. Today we got Mr. Tyler Allen. He's one of our good buddies, and he runs Tyler's Outdoor Adventures. Tyler, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do and introduce yourself.
Well, hello. My name is Tyler Allen. I am, I guess, the founder of Tyler's Outdoor Adventures. It's a little bit about me. I'm a Manchester native here, right here in Clay County.
Let's go.
Yeah. Just like to get outdoors. Do a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting, mainly fishing. If you watch my YouTube channel at all, I am a avid muskie fisherman. Muskie angler. That's what I live and breathe. Right now, it is the heart of deer season. I'm pouring my soul, like I was telling these guys here just a minute ago before we got on here. I am trying my best to harvest a deer, and it's not going so good. But fishing season is right at its prime as well. So it's hard right now. It's hard. Do I want to fish? Do I want to hunt? But that's a little bit about me. I'm just a big fisherman, big hunter. I love to capture my hunts and my fishing content as well, and just share it with people online. But other than that, I'm pretty much simple fella. Just like to get out there and enjoy the outdoors.
That's awesome, dude. Man. So you was talking about deer hunting and fishing. So does those seasons overlap, or is there like a certain time that's better to catch muskie, versus the deer hunting?
You've got the rut that comes in right there towards the end of October, and that's obviously peak deer season. And then you've also got the water temperatures that's starting to drop into those 60-degree water temperatures.
Yeah.
And that is like the prime muskie fishing as well. So it's sort of a bummer both ways. You just got to suck it up and say, we only get rut season once a year. So I have to get in there and grind for those buck deers during that time. But as soon as I tag out, I get back out there after those fish. But yeah, they definitely collide.
Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, you're definitely one of the best muskie fishermen I've ever met. I've never even caught a muskie.
I've never either.
They do.
They are the true fish of 10,000 casts.
Yeah.
And right. You'll catch two back to back. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a weird species.
You've caught quite a bit this year, haven't you?
It's been a pretty good season so far. Started out earlier in the year. Started pretty slow. Fish was not, I guess you could say, on. And then the closer we got to fall, right there in September, I think I boated like 18 muskies in it was like a 3-week span. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
So what was your biggest one of the season this year?
This year?
Yep.
I went to Buckhorn Lake up in the tailwaters. You can always get down there towards the end of, it's right around that July mark, July, August.
Yeah.
When the water temperature is hot, you get those shads starting to bust up in those tailwaters of Buckhorn Lake. You can get over there, and some of the best fish that I've caught's come out of that hole of water. This year, though, you was asking, I probably caught my biggest this year has probably been the 44-inch muskie.
Okay.
It come right out of that whole water.
You was talking about Buckhorn. They say Buckhorn is a pretty good little bass lake as well. I've never been.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
I seen a guy catch a monster off just a wacky rig. I mean, it was a 5 or 6 pounder, dude, but it was. I mean, I never really known anything about buckhorn. We always went for bluegill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to try that for some.
Sounds like there's a little bit of everything in there.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
The crappie is a big hit over there at Buckhorn. I heard you can catch a lot of the 10-inch range, which is keeper size. I know a lot of guys throw those back, but I've heard you can go over there and have a really good day crappie fishing.
We might have to do our catch and cook over there sometime.
They got a little campground right there. I forgot what it's called, but they got a campground, like a state resort park up there. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think it's called Buckhorn State Resort, Nate. I think that's what
Maybe so.
So Tyler, why do you like muskie fishing so good? is it the adrenaline of catching the muskie? Like after you cast so many times, it's fish of 10,000 cast or whatever they say, or
Well, it is obviously the one of the bigger fish that we can catch here in our
right,
neck of the woods.
right,
But I would say musky fishing is like it's like the unknown. You never really know what you're going to get out of a muskie. It's a unique bite. Um, you never know if it's going to come in on the figure eight, if you're going to get him on the cast right as soon as it hits the water. Um, it's really, like I said, it's just the unknown of what you're going to get out of a muskie. Um, the power that they bring to the whenever you hook up, it's just, I guess it's the next thing to a saltwater fish you can get a hold of.
right.
I'd say muskie fishing takes some serious gear, to fish those fish.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of go into detail, what kind of gear you need to fish for muskie and stuff like that.
Well, if you watch my YouTube at all, there's a lot of guys on there always getting a kick out of the net we use, and that's probably the number one tool that you got to have in your boat is a net if you're going to catch and release these muskie. Um, we like to have at least a 48-inch depth muskie net that's coated in the rubber.
Yeah.
It protects the slime on those fishes, which is super important. Um, you also got to have anywhere from a 300 to 400 size reel.
Mm-hmm.
I like to use bait casters because also we do a lot of casting for muskie. My favorite reel out there right now is the Daiwa Alexa 300 HD. It's a great bait casting reel, as you would say in the bass world. It does really well on casting some bigger baits as well, as like because we fish a lot of I would say 18-inch pounders is what we call them. It's just a big soft plastic bait that you rip through the water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just huge baits. But as far as you just got to have 300 to 400 size reel, a big dip net. Good release tools is always a good option as well. You need some pliers. I prefer my pliers are about a foot long because you don't want to get your hands in there next to those muskies.
Oh god. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like a bunch of little razor blades
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
waiting to rip flesh.
Right.
They've got some gnarly teeth in them.
So what pound? I'm sure you use a braided line with like a steel leader or something. Is that how it works? Or
I use a braid line, 85-pound Parapro with a 130-pound fluorocarbon leader.
Dang.
That's a bit.
That's a
Wow.
lot bigger than what we use for these little bass.
We hustle them in when we get a hold of them. We put them in the net.
I have
I
used some
reckon.
65-pound braid on a frog reel for bass
Yeah.
fishing, but I've never used nothing like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
My father just bought one of those big 8-inch. I guess it's like a Chad shad or something. It's a glide bait for bass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we ran into a guy on Cedar Creek, and he had caught like 32 bass, and he had like 18 pounds out of 5 fish. He was having a pretty good day. And he flipped a lure over there, and he's like, "This is what I'm catching them on." So my father-in-law, he went and bought one. It was like a $60 bait. Gets over there, about 5 cast in, flings it right off the end of his line.
That's heartbreaking.
I've been there. I've done
Yep.
that.
$60 bait to the bottom.
Yeah, I have done that before.
So, Tyler, what's one of your more memorable stories of muskie fishing? Have
Yeah,
you
'cause
ever
we
you
know-
ever had any like dangerous?
We
Like
know
it pull
every
you into
fisherman's
something,
got a big story to tell. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Most memorable. That would be a lot. I've got a lot of good stories. I guess probably the most memorable, or it would probably be the Kentucky Field episode that we filmed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty awesome opportunity. Chad Miles contacted me. Just a little backstory on that. We'll go quick on it. Chase Winiger, me and him's on Facebook. He films for Kentucky Field, and he had been noticing all the posts of muskie fishing and saw my content, and he contacted me. He's like, dude, I'd love to go catch a muskie. So I took him to the tailwaters of Buckhorn, like I was telling you guys earlier. It was about that July time frame, and we took off trolling. And I bought us some sausage biscuits that morning, and we put 4 poles over the side of the boat. I kicked it in gear. I got me a biscuit out, put some jelly on it, and before I got to take a bite, we already had a 42-inch muskie in the boat.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It really that sets the tone.
Yeah, that's a way to set the tone right
For
there.
real.
So, long story short, we caught like 3 fish that day. And on the way in, he called Chad up and he was like, dude, we got to get out there and fish with this guy. We can make a good episode. So it took some time to get him over here. And it's about 7 or 8 months later, he come over here. We fished. We caught 2 muskie up there at the park. One of the, I guess you could call the community hosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We caught 2 fish that day and shot a awesome video. And that's definitely been one of the bigger memories that I've had muskie fishing for sure.
I've never really fished for them, but everybody, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we have some really good muskie fishing in the rivers around here. Is that true?
I would say in the state of Kentucky, we have probably the best muskie fishing around.
Yeah.
I fished Tennessee. I fished St. Clair in Michigan. I fished Cave Run, Buckhorn Lake, Melton Hill, Green River. I would say our rivers is just as good as any of those holes of water.
That is awesome. So at this point in the show, we want to do something a little different, just to help local businesses out. We're going to start doing a local business spotlight, and this week we're going to do Sleep in Heavenly Peace, which is a ministry that builds beds for kids that are underprivileged and don't have a bed to sleep on. That's a
Good
you wouldn't
thing.
think that's a thing,
Right.
but it is.
Yeah, that's something awesome for this community. We really appreciate everything you all do. It's mostly volunteers too.
It's volunteers, churches, whoever wants to. They build them and deliver them.
Yeah.
I think they got a website. If you all know someone that needs a bed for their kids here in our local area, just get on their website and apply.
Yep.
Next, we got Misty's Country Kitchen, or
Mommy's.
Mommy's Kitchen.
Make some really good home cooked food
Oh yeah, it's
Definitely so.
in
good,
the Garrett
delicious.
area. Go check them out. Then also we got Clay Parts and Power Equipment. If you need some good steel power equipment, which is the best,
We know a guy.
go check them out. We know a guy. All right.
all right. Back to you, Tyler. So, apart from fishing, tell us a little bit about your deer hunt.
A little bit about our deer hunting.
Yeah. Just anything you want to tell us.
It's not happened yet.
I'll keep my spots to myself.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't care, go ahead and send us a map with some
What do we
points
wanna
on
know?
it.
What do we wanna know?
Onyx or something.
So, have you killed a deer this year?
I have killed 1 doe, and that is about it. I shot a booner in Fort Knox, and unfortunately, we did not find it. But other than that, I'm just right here at the house hunting about every evening after work, and right now seems like the deer activity might be getting a little better because I've been getting nothing but nighttime pictures, and they've been picking up a little bit. So other than that, it's been pretty slow on my end, guys.
What's the biggest deer you've ever killed? That's the next
Biggest
question.
deer I've ever killed,
Yeah.
I would say it'd be last year. It was probably a 125, 130-inch 8-pointer. Shot him here on a farm that I've hunted ever since I was knee high, and it actually come out to be pretty unique because he came out chasing a doe right in a big cover crop field, and I got to film everything start to finish, and it actually ended up being a pretty good harvest.
That's awesome.
People don't realize a deer that size. They think that, people don't realize that's a good sized deer. Most of the time
yeah.
people will kill a spike and act like it's a 200-inch deer. But 130, 140-inch deer, that's a great deer. That's a good harvest.
I will take those every year.
Oh yeah.
Nate, you a deer hunter? You deer hunt, right?
Yeah, I deer hunt. Not as much as I'd like to.
What's the biggest deer you've ever killed?
Biggest deer I ever killed? I think it was like, I'm not even gonna lie, I think it was like 110, 115. It wasn't nothing big, but
Next question: did you do it legally?
yeah, definitely. Kentucky Fish and Wildlife.
Make sure.
I follow the
Yeah,
legal
don't-
regulations for hunting and fishing.
Don't listen to this podcast, dog.
Yeah, just don't listen to this podcast.
Well, I'm a deer hunter, but I haven't been in probably 3 years. Biggest I've killed is probably an 8. I don't even know what it scored. I didn't measure it.
I know when I was little, my dad killed like a 10-pointer in Pulaski, and he put my name on the mount. So I'll take credit for it. I think it was like 150. I'll take credit for it though, because my name's on it.
I've not been deer hunting forever. I think it's the cold weather, man. I just don't do well in cold
I
weather.
just don't think I have time for it, man.
Well,
Yeah, the cold weather is definitely. I'm more of an evening person if I go deer hunting. Like, I don't like going in the mornings. I don't like waking up, getting out there in that freezing weather. You know,
It's actually pretty peaceful, I think. I just, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. If I wake up and I feel good, like, yeah, I'll go hunting. But I mean, with my work schedule where I'm nights, I mean, most of the time I don't feel like doing much.
Yeah, that's
like in
me
the
too.
mornings at all. It takes me
Yeah,
about
same.
1 o'clock to wake up.
yeah.
Tyler, we talked about muskie fishing and deer hunting. Me personally, my favorite fish to catch is smallmouth. If you couldn't catch a muskie, what would be your next favorite fish to fish for?
It'd probably be largemouth bass, smallmouth bass. That's probably my next go-to. I just enjoy being out there on the lake in my boat.
Yep.
It don't matter. I'm starting to get into crappie fishing a little bit. I just bought some spider rigs for my boat. I'm going to try out those millenniums. I don't know if you guys seen those or not, but a
Yep.
lot of these crappie guys around here, they like them. So they went ahead and told me I need to buy those or buy nothing. So that's what I got. So me and Dad's going to try to maybe venture into a little crappie fishing this winter. But I'd say bass would be number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I
Any
love
day of the
crappie
week.
fishing. Crappie is probably one of the better eating fish, you know.
Yeah, I love to eat crappie.
Yeah, crappie's good, and you can't beat it.
Which we had our catch and cook this year with the crappie. It was.
I like to try walleye.
Well,
They say walleyes are really good.
we
fish.
caught some in the river. When was it? When
Yeah,
was
you
the
and
river?
Dan, you all and Dan.
Dan the river man, yeah.
I'm sure Tyler's caught his fair share of walleye as well in the river.
I have not caught any walleye in the river as much as I've been after them, or not specifically for walleye, but just been in the river fishing. I've not caught a walleye. I've known several guys caught some actually pretty good walleye, like 30-inch walleye out of there, but I haven't never hooked into one of those guys in there.
Well, I am a firm believer, and I wasn't a believer until Dan showed us this. Which we fished Ned rig before, but I've never fished in the river.
Right.
Fishing a Ned rig in the river is the way to go.
Catches everything in
It
there.
catches
Yeah.
everything that's there.
Yeah. The versatility is unmatched.
Walleye,
Yeah, that's what we was catching them on.
yeah, it catches them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm a firm believer in the Ned rig now.
Have you? So like you said, you went up into Michigan and fished, right?
Yes.
Is that that area? Is it got pike, or is that more of like a Canada area? Because I had a buddy caught a 60-inch pike in Canada.
St. Clair, it shares Canada and USA.
Right.
Half of it is in Canada, half of it's in Detroit, right
Right.
down in the part of Detroit. We fish mainly. I booked a guide the first year I went down there.
Mhm.
The best fishing is obviously in Canada. So, when we went down this year, we actually took my boat down there, and we had a 19-foot bass tracker aluminum, taking
Oh,
it
God.
across the ocean. You talking about a good time, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just imagine. But
Jesus Christ.
we had a campsite. We launched at the campsite. It was about an hour and 15-minute boat ride over to Canada to where we could start fishing. And but supposedly it's supposed to be full of pike. We hadn't caught one. And the way they act on content on YouTube and places, those things eat anything, but they may be harder than what they put on because we've not caught one. We've been down there like 3 times now.
I know Chad Hoover catches them a lot bass fishing, just with like chatterbaits and things like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. So where would the closest place be? Would that be the closest place to catch pike to us, or is there somewhere closer?
You might can get into some maybe a little further down in Ohio,
Hmm.
but I'm not really sure.
Can you imagine taking a kayak on?
I definitely want to check one off my list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught one.
It'd be a good trophy. 60-inch. I mean, that's a big,
Yeah.
big freaking fish.
And they're part of this. Are they part of the same family as a muskie?
That's what I'm saying. Like when I looked at it, I thought it was a muskie, but he was like, "No, this is a pike. I caught it in Canada."
So what's the difference?
I think a pike's got a little bit more meat on it. Honestly, that's the only. If you look at them,
Tyler, you got any insight on that difference in a pike and a muskie?
I honestly have no idea, Phyllis. I know it could be, I know it's a crossbreed between a muskie and, I don't know if it's a muskie and I honestly don't know, Phyllis. I know it's a crossbreed of a muskie though. I don't know what the other half is.
Well,
Got any research there for us?
I do. Well, let's see. Both species have forked tails, but muskie have much more pointed forks, while pike tails are more rounded. And then there's something about pores. I assume that's something to do with the jaws, maybe. Pikes and muskies have pores on the underside of their lower jaws, but muskies always have more. There's really nothing really showing up about a true difference, but
I mean, seriously, like look right there. They look just.
they look
alike.
identical.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I thought.
Got different pattern on them, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
different pattern.
That's what I'm saying. Like when he showed me, I'm like, dude, you went all the way to Canada to fish for that, and you could have went up the road to Rod and Stinson's.
So a pike has horizontal rows of light oval patterns, so it's more circular. And then a muskie has more stripes, pretty much. I mean, they
I'll
look
take it.
identical.
I'll take
to me.
that.
Yeah,
Got a tiger out there too.
yep,
A tiger muskie.
yeah. That must be what I'm looking at. But anyway, that's pretty cool. Little tidbit of knowledge there for everybody listening.
yeah.
Do you ever use live bait, or are you just strictly like artificial?
I have wanted to use live bait. They use a lot of suckers. Around here, we don't have a place to buy them. I guess we could get in the rivers because they're full of them and try to catch some.
Oh,
and
yeah.
give it
Oh,
a
yeah.
try. I know some guys personally around here that's had some fellas travel in here and bring some with them, and they've caught some pretty big fish using the live suckers. But me personally, I've never got to. I want to though.
So, Todd, do you have any cool plans for upcoming fishing trips, or what do you got? What do you got that you're planning out here?
Well, I guess St. Clair is becoming like a yearly thing. I think we're actually going to make 2 trips this year, though. We're going to probably go around that May, early June, which would be like spring down there because it's cold up there. And we'll get into those smallmouth. Supposedly smallmouth to get down there, and you can catch 3 and 4 pounders by the dozens. So we got to get down there and try it this year. So about end of May, 1st of June, we're going to venture down there and do that. And then probably right around the fall time, we're going to get back down there and try to catch us a muskie.
Tyler, what do you think about maybe loading the yaks up and we go to Florida? We know a guy down there that can hook us up with some peacock bass
Yep.
and maybe do a collab with those.
That would be epic.
Yeah. Heck, I wouldn't care to go to the St. Clair place he's
Well,
talking
yeah,
about. I mean,
I wouldn't
that
care to either.
sounds like pretty nice.
I don't think I want to try it on a kayak.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that'll be.
definitely not.
Yeah, you boys probably need a boat for that one for
If you
sure.
get views.
We was out there fishing, it was back in August, and we was out there the first day. We had like 10-mile-an-hour winds. The guide told me you can fish St. Clair as long as it's under 15 miles an hour. Well, we had like 10 to 12 miles an hour when we was out there, and he dropped me a point to go out and fish, and we was in probably 3 to 4 footers out there, and it was pretty gnarly.
Heck
I
yeah.
never seen nothing like that.
So, Tyler, where would viewers go to view your content? Obviously, we know he's on YouTube, Tyler's Outdoor Adventures. Is there any other social medias that you have that our viewers can go check you out on? Or
On Facebook, I post every now and then on Tyler's Outdoor Ventures.
Yeah.
But mainly, all my content that I share is on YouTube, TikTok. Other than that, that's about it on my end.
Is it under Tyler's Outdoors Adventures or?
on everything? Or
Because we'll put the links to your stuff in our video.
Yeah, all of my content's under Tyler's Outdoor Adventures. TikTok. I do a little bit on Instagram too, not much, but mainly YouTube is where my main source is.
Yeah, and guys, we'll have all those linked below if you want to go check him out. He's got pretty awesome content. You blew up big this year, Tyler. I know you've gained a lot of following, and
I always told my buddies, I was like, man, I just need that one video to kick off my YouTube.
yeah,
And I posted just a simple short of me catching a muskie, and it blew up. I think it got like, I don't know, 3 or 4 million views, and my subscribers jumped up like 30 or 40,000, and it sort of took off.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Do you do any type of guide service for muskies, or just?
I've had a bunch of people ask me if I wanted to guide for muskie, and had several messages of people just want me to take them out. I do not guide. I don't know if I would guide. It may be something in the future, but as of right now, no future plans of guiding.
Right. Well, Tyler, if you don't have anything else, do you have anything else you'd like to add other than what we've asked you?
I don't think so, fellas.
Sounds
y'all
good,
want
man.
out of me?
Buddy, you've been great.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, you can go check out our sponsors: MMA Fishing, Thin Blue Tight Lines,
Going
North
headed
Headed South, DH Baits. You can go check them out below. We're also going to have Tyler linked down below. We appreciate you all. As we always say,
Keep on yakking.
Tune in next time for Yakking Live. It's available on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and more, wherever you go to find your favorite podcast. Play kayak fishing, like their Facebook page, and stay updated on what's happening. And as always, they say, keep on yakking.